Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Nestin Padasali. So today we'll be studying the ICMR JRF 2020 year question paper. So first we'll be dealing with section A question and then we'll be moving to section B question. First question, mammography is used in the screening of breast cancer. Basically mammography will produce a mammogram which is an X-ray image of the breast. So mammography generally use the X-ray rays, but the X-ray rays will be of lower energy when compared to other techniques like ultrasound like that. Okay. Next question, vomit center is located in which area of particular brain? Vomit center, respiratory center, all are located in medulla oblongata. So which center is located in pons, or what is the function of pons? Means pons are involved in sleep-wake cycle. Whereas what is the function of cerebellum is that it is involved in maintaining the posture because they coordinate the muscle movement. And the function of cerebellum include touch, vision, learning and emotion. Basically the pons, medulla oblongata, spinal cord will form a brain stem, and generally the brain stem region will involve in regulating the movement related to digestion, sneezing, coughing. Next, thanatology deals with death, whereas the study of bones is called as osteology. Red data book is a Russian document because red data book first has been originated from Russia only. That's why it's called as Russian document containing the data of. The red data book contains the data of endangered species, rare species, as well as it also contains the data of vulnerable species, extinct species, critically endangered species, and threatened species, near threatened species. All the details with regard to endangered rarity will be present in this red data book. Currently, the red data book is under the control of this International Union for Conservation of Nature. Okay. We use which element to galvanize materials to prevent them from rusting? We generally use zinc. If we use a zinc to galvanize a particular material, we can prevent them from rusting. Which of the following carries a deoxygenated blood? So the answer is pulmonary artery, friends. Pulmonary artery is a only artery which will be carrying the deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle of the heart, and it will be giving the deoxygenated blood, which is an oxygen poor blood, to the lung. And lung, what is the mechanism of lung? It will do respiration process. By respiration process, they will be converting the oxygen poor blood into oxygen good blood, and then they will be supplying to the rest of the tissue. Since pulmonary artery is the only artery that will be carrying the deoxygenated blood, because as you all know, arteries carries oxygenated blood and veins carries a deoxygenated blood. And if you ask me other roles, carotid artery is present on each side of the neck, friends. This artery is involved in responsible for transferring the blood to brain, face and your neck. Next, pulmonary vein, it will be carrying the pulmonary vein generally carries the oxygen rich blood from the lung to heart. Next, aorta. Aorta is a main artery, friends, which will be carrying the blood away from the heart to the rest of the body. Okay. Next thing, which of the following halogens are liquid at room temperature? Note, liquid at room temperature, all are halogen, but they are asking which halogen is liquid at room temperature. It is bromine. Common TV remote control signals using infrared rays. Glass is a super cooled liquid, friends, because glass is made up of silica. When the silica has been cooled at particular temperature, we will be getting glass. Next, hydrogen bomb is based on the principle of hydrogen bomb is an example of nuclear fusion reaction, friends. And if you ask me what are the example of nuclear fission, it is includes splitting of uranium-235, uranium-233 and plutonium-239. These things we have studied from our physics, 7th standard physics book. If you take and refer, you can easily clear this ICMR JRF examination. Next, nylon threads are made up of polyamide polymer. Next, pyrimidine bases. Please note they are asking about nucleotide bases present in DNA, or it include your cytosine and thymine. So please don't select this cytidine and thymidine. They are not called as nucleotide bases. They are called as nucleosides. You should know about the difference between nucleotide and nucleoside. Nucleotides are made up of nitrogenous bases plus a pentose sugar plus a phosphate group or phosphoric acid. Whereas this nucleosides, that is example include your cytidine, thymidine, adenosine, guanosine, include only your nitrogenous bases plus sugar. Okay, so this particular cytidine, thymidine are formed by a combination of nitrogenous base plus a deoxy sugar. For example, say thymine when combined to pentose sugar, it will be forming thymidine. Okay, here since they are asking about bases, you should click only cytosine and thymine. Cervical cancer is strongly associated with, so cervical cancer generally caused by virus only, friends. So virus which is involved in causing cervical cancer includes HPV, that is human papillomavirus. This virus also is responsible for causing anal cancer, vaginal cancer, penile cancer, friends. But currently they have identified the vaccination for this particular virus, friends. The vaccine name is Gardasil, which is approved by this US Food and Drug Administration. Okay. Next thing is which of the following element is used as a photoconductive material in the photocopier machine. Photocopier machine means Xerox machine. The material which is used is your selenium. The red soil is red in color because of the red soil is red due to the presence of the iron rich compound. Like that you should know why grasses are green in color, tomato are red in color, why onions are pink in color. Like that you should know the reason behind the color. Okay. Next, hypermetropia is due to, is also called as long-sightedness or far-sightedness, whereas nearsightedness includes your myopia. Long-sighted means object which is distance, we can easily see the object coming in distance, but we can't able to see the person who is sitting near to us. Okay, same as the duck. Nearsightedness means myopia, which means object near you will be seen clearly, whereas object farther from you will be seen as a blurry nature. When a light passes from air to glass, its velocity generally decreases. Okay, next, golden revolution refers to production of horticulture. White revolution refers to increase in milk production. White revolution is also called as operation flood. Last time one question was asking what is the main mechanism of operation flood. It is increase in the milk production coming under white revolution. So question also repeat in ICMR JRF examination. Next, what is meant by green revolution? Green revolution means revolution of wheat and rice, and the father of green revolution is M.S. Swaminathan. Next, cyanophobia means what? Cyanophobia means fear of dogs. Okay, fear of clouds means it is fear of clouds includes your nephophobia, whereas fear of snow includes your cyanophobia. Okay, and the fear of colors include chromophobia, friends. Okay, next, what is the shape of classical shaving mirror? So shaving mirror is generally used, it will be providing the enlarged image of face, friends. That's why it generally incorporate concave mirror. The other type of glasses which employ this concave mirror include your makeup, headlight, torchlight. Whereas those kind of mirror which are made up of this convex mirror include your rear side of mirror in the vehicle, sunglasses, magnification lens. Next, plain glasses are present in your dressing table and kaleidoscope. Next, supernova means it is an explosion of a star. Deepest ocean trench located in which ocean? It is located in Pacific Ocean. Umbilical cord contains 2 arteries and 1 vein. Ocean tides are created because of the gravitational pull of moon. It is due to gravitational pull of moon. Red light is used for signal because it has. Red light is generally used because it has a longer wavelength. If a color is having a longer wavelength means, friends, it will be scattering only to the less. Okay, hence red light can be easily visible from distance. That's the reason why the red light is used in signal. Due to its longer wavelength, it will be much more brighter. So the person who is coming from a particular distance can be easily seen the red light in signal. Next, which of the following is not a kharif crop? So you should know crops are classified into kharif crop and rabi crop. Kharif crop means crop which are growing in monsoon season, and rabi crop means crop which are growing in winter season. So example of your kharif crop includes your rice, maize, sorghum, bajra, cotton and soybeans. So example of crops that are growing in rabi crops include your wheat, barley, oats, pulses, linseed and mustard. So what here they had given, which of the following is not a kharif crop? Of course, mustard is not a kharif crop, it is a rabi crop. Which of the following is not a SAARC country? Okay, so which of the following is not a SAARC country, they are asking. So what is a full form of SAARC? SAARC means South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. Friends, so SAARC is a political organization, consists of 8 countries from South Asia. 8 countries include Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, at last Afghanistan. Here what they had given, Indonesia is not a SAARC country. Next, lunar eclipse occurs between when a earth comes in between sun and moon, we call it as lunar eclipse. What is meant by solar eclipse? When a moon when a moon is present between the earth and the sun, it is called as solar eclipse. Okay, headquarters of United Nations is present in New York, whereas headquarters of WHO, that is World Health Organization, is present in Geneva, which is located in Switzerland. WHO declared, that is World Health Organization declared COVID-19 as pandemic on, it is declared on 11th of March 2023. Most abundant metal element in universe, it is hydrogen. The theory of motivation of Maslow is based on hierarchy of needs. It is based on need-based theory. Similarity index is used for assessing plagiarism. Okay. Next, Emmanuel Charpentier and Jennifer A. Doudna have been awarded Nobel Prize. They had awarded Nobel Prize in chemistry in 2020 year for the work on. Both the scientists have made an immense work on CRISPR-Cas genetics research technology, for which they had awarded Nobel Prize. Okay. Next, These things, for with regard to statistical question, I made a separate PPT to deal with a biostatistics question that has been asked in a past year, friends. So don't worry about that. We'll be studying in upcoming videos. Next, coronavirus is a kind of what virus? What is the DNA of coronavirus? DNA of coronavirus is called as, it is made up of single stranded RNA virus. Okay. And what is the DNA of monkeypox virus? Because in recent days, monkeypox virus is getting more on trend. Okay. So monkeypox virus is based on the genetic material of monkeypox viruses envelop double stranded DNA. Okay. Cold sterilization uses which of the following ways? So cold sterilization is generally used gamma rays. Causative agent of Kala-azar is, it is caused by Leishmania, don't know one name. Next, Salmonella typhi is a causative organ of your enteric fever, whereas dengue fever, a causative organism is dsDNA virus, and black fever is also called as your Kala-azar. It is caused by Leishmania only, friends. Next, Malta fever is caused by Brucella virus. It is a bacterial borne disease. Which of the following drugs is used to lower the cholesterol level in blood? The drug which is used to lower the cholesterol level in blood include atorvastatin. Okay, so please make sure of drug which is used for curing hypertension, kidney disease, heart disease, like that. Get to know about it. Acid fast staining can be used to demonstrate all the following except which. So you should know acid fast staining is generally used to identify acid fast organism like those members of mycobacteria. Okay, so what is mean by acid fast organism means it is made up of a cell wall which will be impermeable to drugs. Most of the stains will be impermeable, and the cell wall is made up of mycolic acid and it is made up of complex lipid. That's why the acid fast organism will be having a wax like coating. Okay, among this mycobacteria, cryptosporidium, cyclospora, all are acid fast organisms, since the cell wall of all the thing will be made up of mycolic acid and complex lipid. Okay, so that's why they are called as acid fast organism, whereas the Streptococcus is not been demonstrated or not been identified by acid fast staining, friends. Okay, since this acid fast staining is a different method, generally the stain which is used is carbonyl fusion stain is a stain which is used for acid fast staining, friends. The carbonyl fusion is a stain which is lipid soluble, at the same time it contains phenol. That's how it can easily penetrate through the cell wall of only acid fast organism. It is ineffective for non-acid fast organism. Okay, next, Omeprazole is a drug that is used in the treatment of peptic ulcer. Next, atropine is useful in poisoning because atropine is a type of organic phosphate. Next, affinity of a drug for a receptor and the intrinsic activity of drug is determined by their chemical structure of particular drug. Okay, so chemical structure of drug play an important role in affinity as well as intrinsic activity. The study of biochemical, cellular, physiological effect of drug and the mechanism of action is known as pharmacodynamic. Whereas what is meant by pharmacokinetics? It is a study of drug. Okay, so study of drug absorption of a particular drug, distribution, metabolism and excretion. So what is meant by pharmacometrics? It is based on drug development. Next, pharmacology, it is a study of drug. Cardiac muscle cannot be tetanus because of which of the following reasons? So cardiac muscle means your heart muscle. This is the only muscle which will be having a long absolute refractory period. Because of the long absolute refractory period, it cannot easily be tetanus. Action potential in a nerve is terminated by a efflux of potassium ion. So it will be stopped when a potassium ion started to efflux. Next, Arnett count is used to count the lobes of neutrophils. It is used to determine the lobes of neutrophil. Okay. Next, emulsification of fat is carried out by your bile salt. Bile salt is nothing but they are made from liver, and the precursor molecule for bile salt is your cholesterol. So they are made up of bile acid along with the conjugation of your glycine or taurine. Okay, so the bile salt are involved in breaking down the fat. In addition to that, they are involved in absorbing few important vitamins, and this bile salt also eliminate toxin. Okay, next, line probe assay, also called as LIPA assay, is based on reverse hybridization technology. Western blotting is a technique which is used for the identification of protein, whereas DNA and RNA will be identified by the technique called agarose-gel electrophoresis. Weakness of hydrogen bonding between the bases in sticky end are stabilized by a process called as ligation, where your DNA ligase will be involved in that. SSPCR. Okay, SSP means sequence specific primer polymerase chain reaction. They are asking full form of SSP. So when you are dealing with the important technique with related to biotechnology concept, at least try to remember the abbreviation of each technique, like FRAP, fluorescent reactivator absorption photography. Like that, you should know the absorption abbreviation of all the technique. Next, the coding sequence of the gene is called as exon, whereas non-coding sequence of a gene is called as intron, and your transposons are called as jumping element or shellfish gene. Okazaki filament are formed on lagging strand of DNA. What is a central dogma? So flow of genetic material from DNA to protein to DNA to RNA, RNA to protein. So DNA first it will be multiplied by a process called replication. Next the DNA will be converted to a process called RNA, that by a process called transcription. Next the RNA will be converted to a protein by a process called translation. Okay, next in gene cloning, the term vector refers to. Vector is nothing but it is a plasmid which is used to transfer the DNA into the living cell. Next, following are the codon terminate proteins, that is except what is the thing. Okay, so this UAA, UAG, UG are stop codon that is used for terminating the protein synthesis, whereas this UUA is an mRNA codon of leucine, friends. At the same time, know about which is a start codon. Start codon is AUG. In a normal form, DNA helix will be double-stranded in nature. At the same time, it will be right-handed in nature. Which of the following is the name of genetic disorder resulting from the defect in nucleotide excision repair? If there is any defect in this nucleotide excision repair, what will be occurring? The disease name is xeroderma pigmentosa. At the same time, when there is a defect in DNA mismatch repair, it will be leading to this particular syndrome. This syndrome is also called as hereditary non-polyposis colorectal cancer, friends. Whereas you should know about the DNA repair disease. For example, if there is any defect in double standard break repair system, means it will be leading to Alzheimer's disease. Okay, so what is a typical pattern of euchromatin in G banding? So there are two chromatin, euchromatin and heterochromatin. So euchromatin are lightly stained by G banding due to the presence of high amount of guanine cytosine bond. Okay, so they are asking about euchromatin. Euchromatin in G banding or light stain due to the presence of GC rich content. Next, coupling and repulsion are two aspects of single phenomenon called your linkage. That is, in genetics they had asked this question. So we'll deal with the next question, friends. 3 copy of chromosome 21 means that a person is having okay, they are asking about 3 copies of chromosomal 21. If the chromosomal 21 is present in extra, means that is 3 copy, means it leads to Down syndrome. Whereas if you so the disease name is Down syndrome. So Pato syndrome means if there is an extra copy of chromosome 13, that is trisomy 13. Okay, Edwards syndrome means what? It is an extra copy of chromosome 18, that is trisomy. Edwards syndrome is also called as trisomy 18. What is mean by Klinefelter syndrome? If a boy is born with the extra copy of X chromosome, it is called as Klinefelter syndrome. Next, the character which appear in the first filial generation is called as dominant character. Next, which of the character was not chosen by Mendel? Mendel chosen pod shape, pod color, location of flower, but he didn't select this location of pod while studying his particular experiment. The complete set of a chromosome which is inherited as a unit from one parent is called as genome. Okay, you should know the difference between genome and gene. Gene is a particular segment of DNA, whereas genome is the entire genetic material of an organism which will be inherited as a one unit. Which of the following is not an example of recessive autosomal disease? So, cystic fibrosis, phenylketonuria, sickle cell anemia, all are belong to autosomal recessive disease or autosomal dominant disease, whereas hemophilia is belong to X-linked recessive pattern, which means the abnormal gene responsible for causing hemophilia is carried by the X chromosome. What is the function of centrosome? Centrosome, so they didn't speak about centrome here, friends. Here they are asking about centrosome, which are involved in forming the spindle fiber. Next, insulin and glucagon are the hormones which are secreted by your pancreas. Okay, sweat is secreted by eccrine gland. So eccrine gland will be present in all the region of skin, and their main role is secretion of sweat for regulating body thermoregulation mechanism. Which of the following is known as pacemaker of heart? That is sinoatrial node. Which of the following connective tissue often serves as a support framework for epithelium? So it is areolar tissue. A device in which large volume of living cells are cultured to get a specific product is called as bioreactor. Thermocycler means what? Thermocycler means it's your PCR machine. Agitator means what? Agitator is generally used inside the bioreactor. So inside a bioreactor there is a device called agitator will be present. Agitator is to mixing all the content for oxygen supply. The sticky end of fragmented DNA molecule are made up of unpaired bases. So sticky end means the bases will be unpaired. Golden rice is yellow in color due to the presence of beta-carotene. Next. In most species, mitochondrial DNA is passed from the mother. Okay, so mitochondrial DNA inheritance is from the mother. So all the other gene will be inherited from both parent, one copy from mother, one copy from father, whereas mitochondrial gene will be inherited only from their mother. Insulin is produced by genetic engineering using an organism called Escherichia coli, and the name of the insulin which is produced in this Escherichia coli is humulin, which is produced by your Eli Lilly company. mRNA code of valine is yours. GUG. So please understand the genetic code which is present in Leninger book biochemistry, friends. Next, microinjection is a method which is used to inject the recombinant DNA into the nucleus of an animal cell. It is a gene transfer method. Next, in recombinant DNA technology, the term vector is already, there is a question in gene cloning, the term vector is both the technology. The term vector means a plasmid which is used to transfer the DNA into the living cell. Term molecular scissor means what? It is a restrictions enzyme. Next, coenzyme A is a derivative of pantothenate. Mollis test is used for which technique? Mollis test is used for identification of carbohydrate. Next, a proteinaceous molecule that joins a non-protein prosthetic group to form a functional enzyme is called as apoenzyme. Okay, so proteinase molecule that joins a non-protein, that need to join a non-protein prosthetic group, that is your coenzyme, to form a functional enzyme is called as apoenzyme. So what is mean by holoenzyme? So holoenzyme means apoenzyme plus a cofactor is called as holoenzyme. Okay, so cofactor means it is nothing but your coenzyme which is assisting this process. What is mean by isoenzyme? Isoenzyme will be differing in the amino acid sequence but and also catalytic property, but they will be catalyzing the same reaction. That's called as isoenzyme. The example is your glucokinase. Okay, adult human hemoglobin consists of 4 subunits. That is, it is made up of 2 alpha unit and 2 beta unit. Whereas fetal hemoglobin is made up of again 4 subunit, but fetal hemoglobin is made up of 2 alpha unit and 2 gamma unit. Next, erythrocytes have this antioxidants which protect the integrity of cell membrane from oxidative damage. That is nothing but your glutathione is having an antioxidant property which will be protecting the cell membrane from the oxidative damage. Next is alpha oxidation of fatty acid takes place in peroxisome, whereas omega oxidation of fatty acid will be taking in endoplasmic reticulum, and beta oxidation of fatty acid will be taking place in your mitochondria. Lens protein is the example of sequestrated antigen. The process of killing of all microorganisms along with their spores is called as sterilization procedure, whereas a disinfection, antisepsis, sanitization will kill the microorganism but does not kill the spores. Which of the following hormone is secreted by alpha cells of pancreas? Alpha cells of pancreas secrete your glucagon, whereas beta cells of pancreas will be secreting insulin. Calcitonin is produced by C cells of thyroid gland, that is parafollicular cells of thyroid gland will be secreting the calcitonin. Progesterone will be secreted by your adrenal gland as well as gonads, that is your ovary and testes will be secreting progesterone. The breast milk secreted up to 2 weeks after delivery is called as. So the breast milk is secreted up to 2 weeks after delivery is called as translational milk, friends. See, what is mean by fore milk means it is a milk that a baby drink at the beginning of feed. Okay, so this fore milk generally consists of water, at the same time nutrients alone will be present, friends. As if you ask me, hind milk means after fore milk. Okay, so after the fore milk stage the baby will be drinking hind milk. Okay, so first colostrum is the first thick milk after a baby born. It will be deep yellow in color. Next is your translational milk which will be secreted up to 2 weeks. Next, mature milk will be white in color. So you should know about the stages of bliss milk. Here they are speaking about which milk is secreted up to 2 weeks after delivery. It is translational milk. After this translational milk, then the mature milk will be secreted, which will be secreted up to 6 months. Okay, device that is used to prevent the tension of suture line after repair of cleft lip is Logan bow. Okay, next, this particular pain is associated with the ovulation. So ovulation means structure of pain. For few people the pain will be little bit serious, because why the pain has been created means you can able to sense the pain only one side of your abdomen, friends. So while the process of ovulation, your ovary will be releasing the egg, friends. So it will make the follicular cells to stretch on the surface of ovary. That's why you are receiving this particular pain. Next, see, DNA sequencing depth is known by another term called as coverage. Which of the following is a nuclear sequence database? It is EMPL. Okay, so rest of the Swiss prot, ProSite, TREM will be a protein sequence database. Frameshift mutation results from a deletion of single base. Okay. Next, BLAST uses a substitution matrix to find a matching word, whereas the SPASTA technique will be using the hashing procedure to identify the identical matching word. In hybridoma technique, B cells will be fusing to the myeloma cell. So B cells will be they have a particular lifespan, but these B cells are HGPRT positive, whereas myeloma cells will be HGPRT negative, and these myeloma cells has been originated from cancer cell. B cell have the capacity of producing antibodies, so that's how hybridoma technology has combined both the B cells and myeloma cells to produce antibodies continuously for clinical application. Okay. Next, which of the following is also called a suicide enzyme? Suicide enzyme is example of suicide enzyme. We can say O6 alkyl guanyl transferase. Okay, which of the following is not used as a vector in molecular cloning? So plasmid, co-osmid, bacterial artificial chromosome are used as a vector in molecular cloning, whereas hapton is not belong to molecular biology concept itself. Hapton is being encountered in the immunology concept. Object that cannot be superimposed on its mirror image is called as chiral molecule. Next, RNA that catalyze the biochemical reactions such as self-splicing introns are known as ribozymes. So these ribozymes are the RNA molecule that act as an enzyme for catalyzing a particular biological reaction. In STS page, the movement of protein is from. STS page is the technique which is used for isolation of protein, friends. So movement of protein will be from a cathode to anode, that is from a negative side to positive side. Which of the following is an example of artificial passive immunization? So here they are speaking about passive immunization, which is a transfer of your immunoglobulin molecule, that is IgG. Okay, so here they are asking about artificial passive immunization. If it is a natural passive immunization, means transfer of immunoglobulin molecule from mother to the fetus through the placenta. Okay, like your IgG. Here they are asking about artificial. Artificial means what? Injection of pooled human gamma globulin. Next, phagocytosis enhanced by coating the surface of antigen. That is, phagocytosis enhanced by coating of surface of antigen is called as opsonization. Next, which of the following constitute approximately 75% of total immunoglobulin in human includes your IgG. Granulomatous inflammation is an example of type 4, whereas example of type 1 includes your anaphylactic reaction, your drug allergies. Example of type 2 includes your hemolytic disease in newborn and blood transfusion reaction, that is red blood destructions. Next, type 3 reaction example include your rheumatoid arthritis, and type 4 include your granulomatous infection, type 1 diabetes, multiple sclerosis. Which of the following TLR is not an intracellular in nature? That is, only this TLR2 is not intracellular, whereas rest of other TLR3, TLR7, TLR9 are intracellular in nature. All are secondary lymphoid organ except. So thymus is a primary lymphoid organ, whereas your spleen, lymph node, mucosal associated lymph node, that is MALT, are secondary lymphoid organ. A molecule that react with a specific antibody but they are not immunogenic by itself is called as hapton. Which class of antibody usually provides defense against helminth infection? It is your IgE. Okay. Next, ladybird beetle is used as a biocontrol for controlling aphid infection. The vertebrae of birds are characterly, it is heterocoelicious, friends. It is nothing but heterocoelicious means it is saddle shape. That is, if you ever watch birds, it will be center, it will be rounder in nature, and the side it will be somewhat bent in nature. That's how vertebra means spine of birds they are asking. Okay. Study of mollusk is called as malacology. Neurology means study of brain. Osteology means study of bone. Whereas this conchology means what? Conchology means study of shells. Okay. Next, this particular gland is excretory organ of hemichordate. Okay, so as I mentioned you earlier, you should know about the excretory organs of various insects. In camel, the hump is mainly made up of adipose tissue. Okay, the maximum ozone layer is found in which layer of atmosphere? The maximum ozone layer is found in stratosphere. Which of the following is a free living nitrogen fixing bacteria? Free living they are asking. Free living means Clostridium is a free living, Clostridium is a free living nitrogen fixing bacteria. But I refer to internet, they are saying Rhizobium is also a free living nitrogen fixing bacteria, friends. Please look through that particular concept detail. Next thing, turbidity of water is measured by nephelometer. Next, which of the following relates to sustainable development? It is this particular report which is deal with the sustainable development, whereas this monitor protocol is involved in ozone layer related agreement, related. Then Paris agreement is involved in global warming and climatic change, and Kyoto protocol, it deals with the greenhouse gas emission. Next, which of the environmental problems is the result of chemical reaction in atmosphere that involves sulfur dioxide? These things we have studied from our 5th standard itself, it is acid rain. Bicollateral vascular bundles are found in the family called Cucurbitaceae, that is your cucumber. Next, continuity of cytoplasm from the cell to cell is maintained to cytoplasmic connection in plants. In plants, they are asking friends, in plants, plasmodesmata is present only in plants, whereas gap junction, tight junction are present in cellular communication presence in humans, whereas this endoplasmic reticulum is an organelle which is not even involved in any kind of cytoplasmic connections and all friends. So correct answer is plasmodesmata. The enzyme Rubisco is involved in which part of the photosynthesis? The Rubisco enzyme is present in, it is involved in Calvin cycle. Okay. Which of the following is a chill tolerant plant? It is Arabidopsis. Which conducts a food in plant? Phloem conducts food in plant and xylem conducts food in plant. Silk is harvested from Bombyx mori. Next, which of the Drosophila melanogaster is also called as Cinderella of genetics, friends. Okay, which of the following insects can be used for production of formic acid? Red ants are insects which is used for production of formic acid. Which of the following is not a ruminant? So you should know the difference between ruminant animal and non-ruminant animal. Ruminant animal is generally herbivore in nature, whereas this non-ruminant animal will be carnivore or omnivore. So herbivore will be digesting most of the time, like they have a stomach which is made up of 4 compartments, whereas a non-ruminant animal is made up of only single compartment, friends. Example of ruminant animals include so the example of a non-ruminant animal includes your human, dog, swine, like that, friends, whereas example of ruminant animal includes your cattle, sheep, goat, buffalo, deer. Okay, so cow, goat, giraffe are ruminant animal, whereas this pig, that is a swine, which is a non-ruminant animal. Ranique disease is a viral disease affecting poultry. Frogs have the ability to change the color to hide them from their enemies. The protective coloration is also called as mimicry. Okay, so thank you friends. Thanks for watching this video. I will meet you with another question paper booklet. If you have any other doubt with regard to any kind of examination, you can please do tell me in the comment section. I will clarify all your doubts. Thank you friends. Thanks for watching this video.